Welcome to r/slash Entitled Kids, where a spoiled brat gets kicked in the face. As you probably guessed from the title, I work at a Build-A-Bear. What is Build-A-Bear, you might ask? It's the coolest store to even exist, in my opinion. Kids pick out an unstuffed fuzzy friend, fill it up with stuffing, dress it up, give it a name, and can even add extra stuff like scents. I love working there. I've had this job for about 5 months, and while I really only work on the weekends or during holidays, I love it. But of course, it's a magnet for spoiled kids. Now, believe it or not, I have yet to interact with a Karen. Most of the parents at Build-A-Bear are extremely polite and don't let their kids go haywire. I'm thankful for that, but of course, that doesn't mean things always go smoothly. The first instance of an entitled kid was maybe in my second week. This mother comes in with a little boy who we'll call Gaston. Now, at first, Gaston seems sweet. He also has a little baby brother, and it's baby brother's birthday. Now, what's also cool about Build-A-Bear is that we have a birthday bear. If you're part of our rewards program, you can buy the birthday bear, but only pay the age of the child. Like, if the kid is 2 years old, the bear is $2. Cool, right? Well, this mom wanted to build a birthday bear for baby brother and she asked for Gaston's help. However, mom is making it clear that this is not Gaston's bear. She tells him at least 4 times that this bear will be for baby brother. Gaston says he understands, so I do my thing. I'm usually on the stuffer, so not only do I stuff the bears, I also perform the heart ceremony. Each fuzzy friend gets a heart, so we do a little ceremony so the heart can bring the friend to life. I picked out a special birthday heart for the bear since it was for baby brother's birthday. Everything is fine and dandy. I sewed the bear up and they head to checkout. Then, once at checkout, Gaston unleashes the loudest scream I've ever heard in my life. I literally jumped when I heard it. I was worried something had happened, like he cut himself or something. I turn around to see Gaston writhing about as his mom is struggling to get him to stand. He refuses to stand up and he's red in the face, tears streaming down his face. The father, who's been sitting outside on a bench, finally comes in and takes the bear along with the little brother. When the dad takes the bear, Gaston gets even angrier. He starts grabbing things that are hanging on shelves, throwing them, and he continues to release this unholy screech from his lungs. He's trying to throw himself into stuff too, but mom has a hold on him so he can't get free. So why did Gaston start throwing a fit? Because despite being told that the bear he was making wasn't for him, he still thought he would get to keep it. Keep in mind, his mother told him repeatedly that the bear was not for him and Gaston said he understood. I guess he really didn't. Mom manages to get Gaston out of the store, but he's not done. He's trying his hardest to get back into the store. You've seen how kids will pull on their parents' arm to get them to go a certain way. Gaston was doing that. His face is beet red, and I was surprised he didn't pass out from the wailing. He tried so hard to get back into the store, and when that doesn't work, he tries to grab the bear from his baby brother. He snatches it, causing the baby to cry. Then, he tries to make a run for it. Mom and Dad aren't having any of it, thankfully. Dad plucks the bear away from Gaston and returns it from the baby, who then stops crying. Gaston is still full of rage, but his mom has picked him up and is giving him a talking to. He's still throwing a fit, but mom refuses to put him down and walks away. That was the first full-blown tantrum I'd seen at Build-A-Bear. I've seen a few more, but so far, I think that's the biggest eruption I've seen. Then, OP clarifies in the comments that a lot of people assumed Gaston was like 4 years old or something. Nope, he was at least 7. No one howls like Gaston, no one scowls like Gaston, throws a tantrum so incredibly foul like Gaston. Our next Reddit post is from Kalane04. This happened around 30 years ago, and strangely, seems to be one of my mother's favorite stories to tell about me. Let me paint the scene. It's a sunny day in the late 80s on a busy London high street. I was around 3 years old, waiting with my mom at the bus stop. There were a few people in front of us, and a sweet little old lady waiting behind us. Knowing my gregarious mother, she probably had been chatting to her beforehand. Suddenly, we hear the old lady cry out in pain. Another woman with a little boy is waiting behind her, and this 6-year-old has started kicking the old lady in the leg while giggling. The old lady says, "Excuse me, that hurts. Could you stop?" The entitled mother says, "Don't tell my kid what to do, he's only playing." My mom says to the old lady, "Here, sweetheart, come in front of me. If he kicks me, I'll kick his mother." The old lady steps in front of us, and my mom picked me up because I was tired. I'm positioned so that my legs are wrapped around my mom's waist and my head is resting on her shoulder, where I have a clear view of the boy behind her. After a moment, I see him eyeing up the back of my mom's legs. He then creeps up closer and prepares himself to start kicking, and this makes me angry. Noting that my feet are level with his face, I wind my leg back and booted him full in the face as hard as I could with my sandaled foot. His head snaps back and he falls back onto his mom, his nose gushing blood, and he starts screaming his head off. The entitled mom screamed at my mom, "Your brat just kicked my baby in the face." My mom answered in a sickly sweet manner, "Don't scream at my kid, she was only playing." We then got on the bus, and I got some penny sweets later as a reward. OP, I don't understand why you're confused that this is your mom's favorite story to tell about you, because if my kid did this, I'd tell this story to anyone who would listen. Our next Reddit post is from Anxia96. This was back in high school, and I was a second-year student. We had an art class that had computers in the back for art projects and lessons, such as looking up references for our assignments. One student was a senior, the class wasn't restricted to sophomores, and he was always trying to go in the back for the computers. The teacher also allowed computers to be used for other assignments if we needed, as long as our art assignments were completed. I would often spend time completing artwork early so I could go complete my essays and other subjects on the computer. The teacher was really kind and liked my work, so she usually permitted me to use the computers as long as I wasn't doing rated M stuff. There were 3 computers, 2 really old and 1 new. The computer had a monitor and a separate machine, which you turn on for the screen. This one student would always want to use it, and it was first come, first serve. He'd usually try to get on there first, but the teacher had him sit at the normal tables. He was decent at drawing, but I'd usually finish first and get to the computers. Whenever I did, he'd get pissed that I took his computer, and he'd try cussing me out, quietly, since his teacher was big on class conduct. I reminded him that I had some pretty hard classes that involved essays and research, while he usually just looked up pictures of anime girls or JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. It wasn't exactly inappropriate, and it was a form of art, but it was distracting, and he was using it for free time purposes rather than class purposes. "Get off my computer!" The teacher literally said it was first come, first serve. It's not yours. "You think that's a thing? I always come here, so that makes it mine." Not fast enough, apparently. "Use the other computers." This is the only one that can work properly. Plus, you can search up anime on those just fine. I never understood why this particular one was so important. "F you, bundle of sticks." I'm bi, so you're half right. This would repeat every once in a while, as he would try shoving me away and giving up before doing it again most of the time. He's not very good at verbal jabs, so I was fine. The teacher would often see the arguments and give us both a warning, but most of the times we actually fought was when the teacher was helping other students. Around the second semester, that student was getting pretty aggressive. Whenever I looked away to get a pencil or to look at my notes, he'd push me aside and go Control A and delete. He doesn't know Google Drive does autosaves, thank God. Other times, he'd whack me with his backpack and tell me to go die, but that wasn't too often. There was a project involving stop-motion animations with clay, and anything the participants wanted to bring. No guns or adult toys. So I brought Legos to make a stop-motion of Lego pieces flying together and making anything before falling apart and building something new. This whole time, that student was at the computers and wasn't doing the project. The teacher told him if he didn't work, he'd fail the project. I was fine with it, as I didn't need a computer for building stuff. What he did next, I was effing pissed. When I was almost done with the project, he shoved me out of my seat and grabbed the iPad I was using. The school lent the class a whole cart of them for the project, and deleted not only my progress, but the progress of the other 4 classes that had used that particular iPad. Then, he tossed it on my Legos and kicked me in the side. Half of the class was shocked, seeing as that was literally out of left field and I didn't even do anything personally to him other than use a computer that didn't belong to him. The teacher was pissed and started to berate him for injuring a student and damaging property. I don't know if she was talking about the iPad or my Legos, neither of which were damaged while I was recovering. I wasn't hurt too bad, so I told the teacher I was fine, while telling her all my work as well as several other works on the iPad were deleted because of him. He was sent to the office, got a 0 on the project, heard he got a month's detention and was unable to attend prom and senior night. And the teacher offered extra time to complete the project. I only needed a few extra days, seeing as building Legos was second nature to me. I got a B, which I'm not complaining about, and the student was banned from computers for the remaining 4 months. Guess he was whining about me using his computer. He didn't go near them, but he'd shoot nasty glares at me from the front of the class. Man, I can't believe this guy is a senior. His behavior sounds closer to something like an 8-year-old. #ruined Christmas. My mom got me the wrong colored iPhone XR. Stupid cow. I feel sorry for your mom having such an ungrateful child. She spent a few $100 on you and this is how you react? Our next Reddit post is from Andrew YTTRA. Backstory: I'm in a social group that drops off their kids to do fun activities and socialize with other kids. The day of the incident was when we went to a water park with a wave pool. When it happened, it was me, my friend, the group leader who was an adult, and the entitled kid. We just got out of the changing room, so we went to the wave pool where everyone was. The waves weren't on at the time, so we could just go to the deep end. I could go there anytime because I'm a good swimmer. Me and my friend went in to find some pool rings. I ended up going to the deep end and actually found one. That's when the waves started. I saw a friend close to the lazy river, so I swam to him. Before I got there, entitled kid was coming inbound like a torpedo and came in front of me. Oh boy, here we go. Hey, OP. Hello. Is that a pool ring you have? Well, you're not blind, that's good. Can I have it? Sorry, no, this is mine. There are some... Why? Like I said, this is mine. There are still some people who might give you one if they aren't using it. But I want this one. Why this one? Because it's green. Like I said, I can't just give it to you. You gotta find a... But I want it! He proceeds to take it from me. Hey, give that back. Well, it's mine now. My friend comes over to see what's going on. Entitled kid took my pool ring when I told him he can't have it. Entitled kid, I'm going to ask again. Can you give me back my pool ring? But it's mine! No, it's ours, and since you took it without my consent, then I take it back from him. No! Now, you're here for the title. Here goes. Entitled kid pushes my head underwater with both his hands. I forgot how long I was underwater, but I remember fighting back. I grab his arm tightly and push it away. I was surprised he could keep me underwater. I finally got my head above water. What the heck? You almost drowned me. That was an over-exaggeration. I didn't stay underwater for that long. Me and my friend went back to the shallow end and talked to the group leader. He talked to entitled kid, and this is what happens. He goes to the water playground and finds a noodle. Group leader apologized to me. I told him I was okay. Me and friend went back into the water pretending like that didn't even happen. And you'd think that this 10-year-old would have learned his lesson after being chewed out by our group leader. Nope. The noodle I mentioned earlier is now relevant. I went to the pool playground and entitled kid came behind me and whacked me with the noodle firm on the back. I turned around and saw him running away like a killer clown was chasing him. I saw him going to the bottom of the slide and whacking friend with it too. We once again told group leader. When group leader was talking to him, the kid whacked him too. He's a brave yet stupid one. Yeah, we went home early. That was r/entitled kid, and if you watched this video and didn't hit the like button, then that makes you an entitled kid.